HeroesCon came and gone, and it was amazing. Now, before we get into this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. It definitely goes a long way to helping the channel out, helping me out, and I can't express enough how much it is appreciated. Now, first thing I want to say is part of the firsts is I was able to have a conversation with Eranga D and David Byrne, who are the artist and the writers, or the writer for Aeternal. Now, this is an ash can for that book that was debuted at HeroesCon this year. So I was able to talk with each of them about this book. Now, stay tuned, because on Monday, I will have that video up with me talking with each of them about this. And they were nice enough to gift this to me, and they both signed it, which is pretty awesome. Really good book. I will probably do a review on this as well. So anyway, this was part of my experience that was just amazing. I'm so excited over this. I'm so appreciative of the opportunity that I had to talk with Eranga and David about this. So thank you guys so much for giving me that opportunity. I mean, it was a blast. So this right here. So here's the big chunk part of the video, the haul part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of break it up a little bit as far as the type of item, I guess, that it is. So first of all, I want to say this, and this also goes back to part of my firsts, because the sketchbook. I talked about the sketchbook, right? I never brought one of these to a con, and this time I did. And I gotta say, I wish I would have done this a lot sooner. So stay tuned towards the end of the haul, or for the end of the haul, because that's when I'm going to talk about this, because this was really, really awesome. Probably one of the highlights to anything that I've gotten. So yeah, stay tuned at the end of this, and that's when I'm going to show this, man, because this is good for me. Or I love this. So the miscellaneous stuff first, and then we'll get into more of the big two related stuff that I got, and then the indie stuff. I was really trying to go heavy on supporting indie stuff. So speaking of indie stuff, now this is the random stuff. So this right here, I got this on Sunday, deal day. Sunday's always the deal day at a con. And I was such a huge fan of the movie, and of course the character, that I wanted this once it was announced, but $100, I was like, And then I seen that this particular vendor had this Friday and Saturday. It was $40. But then Sunday, deal day, he still had a couple copies of this, and I can't remember how much I ended up getting this for, like $15, I think it was, something like that. But the Deadpool, the art of Deadpool Wolverine, the movie, and it's the slipcase. So I don't want to take it out. Well, screw it. It comes with it all, in addition to the book, it comes with this folder right here that has some prints from the movie, and this is a really nice slipcase. That's the back of it. Side, and then of course the front, classic, and then the side of the book, or the spine of the book. So yeah, man, awesome deal, man. Sometimes it's worth it to wait for Sunday for deal day. So I picked that up. And speaking of indie stuff, I also, as you guys might remember a little bit ago, I put out a video and I was talking a little bit about books, like novels type things. So I'm a big supporter of those as well. So I picked up some. There were some indie book authors there. So I got to help support them as well. So I picked this up from Joseph Battaglia. I hope I pronounced that right. Joseph Battaglia was the author of this book, uh, Tale of the Tale of the Dunce Whisperer. So I picked this book up. There you go. Get my face out of there so it can focus better. There we go. So, and it also came with like a poker chip. So, yep. So pretty cool. Obviously I haven't read this yet, so I don't know what the significance of the poker chip is, but it goes along with the book. So I also picked up from Richard Fierce, Trial by Sorcery. So it's a fantasy related book. Not a big book at all. Um, yeah, Trial by Sorcery. So it's always good. It involves dragons and things like that. So when it comes to books, I love that kind of stuff. And he, of course, he signed it as well, right there on the inside, and get a free book. So there you go. There's the QR code if you're interested. There we go. Focus. There we go. So there you go. Go support him, man. And the third book that I got is 21st Chapters, a unique storytelling experience by Brian Klopper. I think I pronounced that correctly. But this is kind of like an anthology book. He's a fifth grade teacher in Maryland. So, yeah, it's amazing that he's able to put out a bunch of these. So, from my understanding, from what I remember, this is a book about the first chapter of a book. And all of these are the different stories that are in this book. And yeah, so he said it's a very unique storytelling type of book. So yeah, I'm always up for something new, something different. So 21st Chapters, I'll dive into that. That's for sure. Now we're gonna get into more of the indie related stuff. So before I get into the actual books, I want to share some things, some prints, and other little things that I got. Now there was a Monster Forge had a Kickstarter recently for a new comic coming out called Return of the Monsters. Now, the book has not come out yet, but they were there for Monster Forge. John Saboines, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I got him. He gave me these. Well, he didn't give them to me. I purchased them, but the print once he found out that I was a backer for the Kickstarter, he was excited and appreciative of that, which I appreciated that sort of reaction as a fan. It was really cool. It was a really cool interaction, and I also got a sketch from him in that book. So stay tuned. So anyway, John Saboines. Like I said, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But yeah, I got the print. There's a preview book, I guess similar to an ash can, and he said if you want to look at it, but just to let you know, it will spoil some things. So I have not looked in here yet because I don't like spoilers. But he did sign it right there through the sticker you see, and he also signed the print, which I believe. Oh yeah, the stickers inside. There we go. You kind of see part of it. The stickers are blocking it a little bit, but then the stickers right here. But yeah, he did sign the print as well. So really cool. Cannot wait for the book to come. I love these Universal like classic monsters. So and I love how these are depicted, like how they're drawn. Like that looks really cool to me. So that was a big part of why I decided to back it. Now, another print that I got was from a very small indie publisher, which is actually local in North Carolina, called Essential Comics. And I seen them a couple of years ago at HeroesCon, and I got a couple of books from them then. But this time I also got, this is actually the character that they had on their banner that caught my eye, caught my attention because he looks so cool. Why I went to them the first time. But Night Ranger is the character. Man, don't tell me he don't look cool, man. He looks so cool. Um, yeah, there's the Essential Comics, and of course he signed it right there. But that looks so cool, man. And I got a couple of books from them as well, and you'll see in a minute. So there's that. And now here's this is the big one, right? The big one. Daniel Warren Johnson had these prints, and people were eating these things up, man. It almost looks like original art, but it's not. But Daniel Warren Johnson also signed it, as well as did like a remark sketch sort of thing, but of the Wolverine #8, the 400 issue variant that he did. And there's his signature, Daniel Warren Johnson, as well as the sketch that he did on there as well. Man, now the paper, I mean the paper, the texture of the paper, it's not your typical print like the other ones I just showed you. I don't know what kind of paper it is, but it's really cool. It's thicker, and of course you can see like around the edges, it's like it's rough around the edges. So anyway, man, that's really sick too, and it's bigger than your like standard 11 by 17. I think the standard print sizes is bigger than that. So yeah, I had to, for sure I had to get this in a plastic thing to protect it. So yeah, now 24/7 those Heroes Be Damned covers and everything that I got. They also gave me these pins as well. So 24/7 comics. So they gave me 2 pins. And as well as I got these cards for a book that you will also see here in a minute called The Edge. But I got these cards. I have not taken them out the plastic yet. But I guess they're character cards, sort of like, I guess along the same idea of what the Marvel cards were back in the 90s. Kind of like just a little bit about each character from The Edge. So they gave this to me for free when I purchased the book, which, like I said, you'll see here in a few minutes. So let's get into the books. So I was able to get a bunch of signatures on those 3 omnibuses that I brought with me, which was the Superman Triangle Era Volume 1, the DC vs. Marvel, as well as the DC vs. Marvel Amalgam Age omnibuses. Now, I will admit, I knew going in, I had a bunch of names to kind of go after, and I really, honestly, I could have gotten every single name, but there's a few that I just decided kind of like on the moment to pass on. Not because I didn't want them or anything like that. I just did not want to stand in line for 3 hours for Chris Claremont. John Romita Jr. was almost the same. So I passed on their signatures just simply for that reason alone. Because I had pretty much been in line for a lot during that entire day getting other signatures. And I was just like, I don't want to spend all of my time in line. So, unfortunately, their signatures were not, I didn't get their signatures in any of the books. So, DC versus Marvel, I got signatures from Dan Jurgens, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Brett Breeding, Bob McLeod, Joe Rubinstein, and Klaus Janson. DC versus Marvel Amalgam Age, I got Dan Jurgens, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Bob McLeod, and Joe Rubinstein. And Superman Triangle Era, I got Dan Jurgens, Brett Breeding, and Bob McLeod. So yeah, I'm very very happy with that. I mean, I couldn't be happier. As far as other stuff, I wanted to get the Death of Superman trade, the first printing, signed, and which I did. I got Brett Breeding and Dan Jurgens to sign it. So Brett Breeding signed right here, and Dan Jurgens actually signed it with a pen, which is a little different, but he signed it right there. So now I have the first printing signed. So I'm happy about that for sure. And speaking of Brett Breeding, I also got, while I was there, he signed the omnibus. He signed that, and I also got a print from him. Now I asked him. I said I wanted to buy a print from him, and he had all kinds of different characters that he worked on. So I asked him. I was like, you know what, dealer's choice. I want you to just basically, who's your favorite character that you've worked on? He actually didn't. He told me he actually didn't like to really care. He didn't really care to work on Superman. It wasn't his favorite at all. But he said Thor was his favorite. So I was like, okay. He had a pretty really cool looking print for Thor that I got from him and signed. He signed it right here. Yeah, again, I got it. There we go. Focus. There we go. Brett Breeding signed it right there. Really cool. Really cool print, man, for Thor. So yeah, really exciting right there. Now, these next couple of things are blank covers that I got sketches on. Now, the two that I showed in my video that I was things that I wanted to get done. Those two blank covers that I had, the Deadpool versus Wolverine, as well as the Batman 158, the Hush 2 blank covers. I didn't get anything done on them. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, I wanted to have him do Batman on it. He wasn't really doing sketches. He had a lottery system. I was like, all right, I didn't want to really deal with that. And Daniel Warren Johnson, I wanted to get him to do something on the can I talk? I wanted to get him to do something on the Deadpool Wolverine, and he wasn't doing sketches either. So I was kind of expecting that. But anyway, Mike Hawthorne was there. And first of all, Mike Hawthorne, really, really, really cool guy, man. Eagles fan, shout out Mike Hawthorne. We talked a lot about the birds and everything. He actually works for the Eagles on the game day posters, and he's got one coming out next year. They didn't tell him which game he's going to be working on for the game day poster yet, but I told him I'm hoping it's the Cowboys. Just make it real good, man. So anyway, Deadpool. His run with he did Deadpool for a while with Jerry Duggan, and so he had a blank cover, and he did a remark right there in the corner. Freaking awesome, man. And my idea for just getting a remark was to eventually get other Deadpool artists that have worked on Deadpool to kind of do the same thing. So I kind of want to get like another one facing this direction, and then two more, like one here, facing that direction, and eventually put like verses or something like that, something kind of cool, and have like a background maybe somehow. So yeah, eventually that's what I want to do with this. But Mike Hawthorne, right there, man, that's really sick looking, man. Oh, can I get that in there? There we go. I really like how he did the shading and things like that. Really awesome, man. So that now these next two are done by the same guy. There is currently a Kickstarter called Heroes Be Damned. And this is actually the ash can for that. And these two blank covers, the first one I'm about to show you, if you showed that you were a backer on that Kickstarter, he would do a free cover for you. And this is what he did. Now, I'm unfamiliar with the characters in this book and all of that, but this looks freaking amazing. Right? That looks freaking amazing. So I got this one for free. For Heroes Be Damned Ashcan. So and Vince Sanico, I think I pronounced that correctly. Um, he's the artist. So yeah, man, he's freaking amazing. So this one right here. Now the next one, I got him to commission it. Man, we kind of collaborated, right? And I was like, you know what? Have the main character from Heroes Be Damned fighting Deadpool, because this character from Heroes Be Damned, he's kind of like he kind of goes after the heroes. So me and Vince were talking back and forth, trying to get. So I was like, all right, him versus Deadpool, and this is what he came up with. Because we were like, he said he likes to draw Deadpool with the mask kind of like halfway up, and he's kind of cynical, right? So yeah, you'll see. So this is what, dude, this is awesome, man. His head's coming out of his ass. Yeah, but he's smiling with the little, doing a little heart thing. Dude, this is freaking awesome, man. I absolutely love this cover. I love this, man. Gosh, that's awesome, man. That's so sick. So I want to get this framed, and of course, just like the other book, he's his signature right there, very clean, very nice signature, by the way. So yeah, man, I was very lucky to get two of these done by the same guy. Pretty awesome, man. So very happy to have those. I want to eventually get those. I eventually want to get those up on the wall. So I got a sketch in my sketchbook that you'll see. But Bob McLeod, while I was there, he had these books, little sketchbooks, and he signed this, and it's pretty cool. Just different printed sketches of work that he's done in his past, and yeah, nice little thing to have. Let me see. Scarlet Witch. Yeah, so pretty cool to have. And he signed that. Now, these next couple of books, these are the only ones that I purchased, like just books. Now, these two, I got these at a deal, man. Oh, man. So I got Batman Year One, Part One, Frank Miller, and David Mazzucchelli. I picked this up, right? As well as Batman Year One, Part Two. As well as, let me get the other two, or the other three books that I bought together with these. And you guys are not going to believe what I paid for these. Now, these old Deathmate books. So I got the red. And then I got the epilogue, which is like the black, I think. Or no, the silver or whatever. The epilogue. These are old 90s books that I had. Back in the 90s when I was younger, I used to get all of these because that's the black one. So all 5 of these books, mainly these two, $20. I don't know if that vendor knew what he had right here. Now, these aren't like $100, $1,000 books or anything like that, but when you buy these two, plus 2 more books, all 5 of them for $20, I said, deal. I made that transaction as quick as I could and left before you realized. Man, so anyway, I don't know. Is that bad? I don't know. I mean, he made the offer. You would think he would know what he has. Anyway, so another vendor, I was like, all right, because I like the old collecting the old books and stuff when I can, the old single issues and stuff. I thought this was really intriguing. Superman issue 300, and this is like from the 70s, I believe. And but Superman 2001. Just imagine the Man of Steel coming to Earth as a baby today and growing up in the world of tomorrow. So it's funny to look back at this book right here from the 70s and how they kind of viewed the year 2001 at that time by the things that you see in this book. But yeah, I love these old books like that. It's a milestone book, right? And I did not pay $8 for that, by the way. I can't remember, but it wasn't $8. Um, so yeah. And the other book I got from that same vendor as that Superman was Lois Lane. All wedding issue. So Lois Lane number 86. I don't even know what year this came out. But yeah. I thought that was really cool. Lois Lane wanting to marry Superman or Clark Kent. So yeah, that's a classic right there. Really cool book. 80-page giant, 25 cents. Man, I wish. We all wish right now, right? So now stuff that I get into the stuff that I got signatures on. Man, it's a bunch too. So I love this cover. Dan Panosian variant cover for Resurrection Man #1. He did his little like word bubble type signature right there. But I got him to sign this. And of course, you all remember that Battle Beast video that I did, and I had them blind bag opening, and I had that Arthur Adams 1 in 50. So he was there, and I got him to sign this as well, right there. The 1 in 50 Art Adams Battle Beast #1. And then also Sanford Green, the Black Lightning #1 variant, he was there, so he signed this right there. Pretty cool. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Like, not that that's not good, but for me, so D-Dub was in line with him. I got Wolverine #8, which was the Legacy 400 issue, but I got the D-Dub cover, and I got him to sign it as well. Apparently this book was a hot item. Didn't realize it, really, to be honest, but he signed that. I love that. Man, I love that. As well as the Absolute Batman #2 that he also did a variant cover for that I bought specifically because it was D-Dub. And I got him to sign that as well. Which I'm mad at myself because I could have gotten Dragotta to sign it. He was there, and I just right over my head. But speaking of Dragotta, let's talk about him. Remember all those Absolute Batman #1s? Yep, here we go. So, the logo foil variant. Now, the funny thing is Dragotta has a specific place that he likes to sign things, and on a couple of these books, he's like, he was like, man, Scott, really? Like, talking about Snyder on his location and where he signs. Anyway, it was funny. Also, shout out to Nick Dragotta. Also, another Eagles fan found out. 2 Eagles fans, Hawthorne and Dragotta. Yes, sir. So the logo foil variant for Absolute Batman #1, Dragotta and Snyder are on there now. And I was kind of debating on this, but I got it anyway. Or brought it anyway. So the Batman Noir edition, where he signed it right here, Dragotta and Scott Snyder. Now, that's for the single issues so far. So the DC versus Marvel, I decided to bring all 4, which I kind of figured I was going to do that anyway. So I got all 4 signed by Dan Jurgens and Joe Rubinstein. So Rubinstein signed it right here. Dan Jurgens signed it like right here on issue #1. And issue #2, let me see where he, okay. So #2, Rubinstein, Jurgens right there. Issue 3, Rubinstein, Jurgens. And issue #4, Jurgens right here and Rubinstein right there. So yeah, I got all 4 of those issues signed. Now we're going to get back to some more Absolute Batman. Number 1. So, just cover A main, he's signed right. This is where he likes to sign it in Scott Snyder. But then also on the back, where I have the San Diego Comic-Con ash can. Yeah, so this is where like Scott Snyder, he likes to sign across here, Dragotta, but Scott Snyder had already signed it right here. So Dragotta settled for signing it along here. So, all right. And also got Dragotta to sign the Jorge Jimenez cover. He signed it across right there. So I have all 3 of them right there now on this book. Jimenez, Dragotta, Snyder. And the John Boy Myers, both of those variants, same deal. Dragotta, John Boy, and Snyder. And the same thing on the foil Virgin variant. All 3 of them right there. So, pretty awesome. Now, as far as D-Dub, is going to transition back to him. Spicer was there. I already had these next 2 signed by D-Dub already from previous HeroesCon last year, I think it was. So I brought them again to have Spicer. So Mike Spicer was there. So, by the way, shout out to Mike Spicer for beating cancer, man. That was really awesome. I was so happy for him. Amazing, man. Amazing. So, Spicer on there now with D-Dub. Now I just need to get the cover artist to sign it eventually, hopefully. And Transformers number 1, the A cover. Got, D-Dub already signed it here, so Spicer signed it right there. So, pretty cool. Now, as far as the collected editions, right? So, Space Mullet from Daniel Warren Johnson. He did I forgot this, so I actually brought this back on Sunday, I think it was, and got him to sign this because he likes to do remarks, like a quick little sketch remark, like really quickly inside of a hardcover or trade or whatever that he signs. But this year, they had a rule, like the whole Felix Comic Art guys, where if you bring 5 or 3 or 2 or whatever, however many you bring, he can only do 1 of the remarks in. So this was brought like another day because for whatever reason, I forgot to have him sign it the first time around. So Space Mullet, he signed it and did a little sketch right there. Pretty awesome. And this one right here, you know what? I'm going to save that for last. So let me adjust. So Murder Falcon. So I got D-Dub and Mike Spicer to sign it. Yep. And Extremity. Same thing, D-Dub and Spicer to sign it. And Wonder Woman Dead Earth. They signed it both right there. So, pretty awesome. Now the exciting thing is Transformers number 1. Now, he asked me when I first went up to him, out of all those books that I just showed, like the hardcovers, Extremity, Murder Falcon, Wonder Woman, which one did I want to have him do the remark in? I said, you know what? I want you to choose. So as soon as I said that, he was like, you know what? He's like, I feel like, he said, Daniel Warren Johnson said, I feel like I really perfected Optimus. So he chose this. He chose this. Not me. He chose this. So check out what he did, man. And of course, Mike Spicer signed this as well. But he went full-fledged, like, 2-page, man. Look at that. And, of course, Spicer signing it right here. Hit Daniel Warren Johnson's signature right here, but his Optimus, man, it's freaking amazing. Man, Daniel Warren Johnson's such an awesome dude, man. So freaking awesome. So freaking awesome. Man. So it's time to get into like the more indie related stuff books and stuff that I picked up, got signed, and things like that. Now, I think I was at one of the vendors was Comic Central, which I like to go when I go to Florida. If I have the opportunity, I'll go to Comic Central in Sanford. Um, so they set up. They usually set up there every year as well at HeroesCon. So they were there, of course, and I picked this up from them, which was Klaus by Grant Morrison and art by Dan Mora. And as far as I understand, this is one of the earlier things that Dan Mora worked on, I believe. But yeah, classic. Um, and look at like the gold paper. And yeah, I thought it might have had a ribbon bookmark, but it don't. But yeah, pretty cool, man. So I picked that up at a good deal. What was this, $10? I think it was. I can't remember. Really good deal though. Now, Battle Beast had some con exclusives. One of these, issue 1, was not a con exclusive, like HeroesCon exclusive, but it was exclusive. So here's Battle Beast number 1. Yeah, AT Comics variant for issue number 1 for Battle Beast. Man, that's sick right there, ain't it, man? Wow. Yeah. So that, and now issue number 2. I like issue 2 cover a little bit better. Now this is a HeroesCon exclusive. So this is issue number Battle Beast number 2. HeroesCon exclusive. So there's the HeroesCon logo right there. So Battle Beast number 2, HeroesCon. And I want to say this is like limited to only a couple of hundred, I think. So I didn't buy it for that reason. I bought it because it was a cool cover and the fact that it was a HeroesCon exclusive. Yep. So, this is something also that came with that Danny Warren Johnson Wolverine print. It came with Danny Warren Johnson, the Short Stories Original Art Catalog. It came with that nice little thick little, for what it is, it's a nice little thick book from Felix Comic Art. And all of the Felix Comics guys had a print similar to that where they were selling, and it came with like a art book or whatever with the print. Like they all had that same kind of deal. So of course Danny Warren Johnson signed that, which was awesome. And then I really wanted to make sure I stopped by the Ed Piskor Legacy booth, which was really, it was kind of emotional, even still now. But yeah, so anyway, I wanted to pick this up, the Cartoonist Kayfabe Illustrated Volume 1 Greatest Hits. Definitely had to pick that up, and as well as I got some stickers as well. So Ed Piskor Legacy, love these stickers, and Hip Hop Family Tree sticker, and Kayfabe Forever, absolutely. So yeah, gotta still support the Ed Piskor Legacy, man. And I hope to make it to the Ed Piskor. I forget what it's called, the con that they have for him that they just started last year. Actually, his family, his sisters, and stuff. So yeah, I mean it's pretty cool, man. They got like different artists and things that throughout this book. So it's different, man. And I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot right now because I totally blanked on it when I got this. I could have got Jim Rugg to sign it, but yeah, let's see, like, man, it's really cool. I can't wait to sit down and read this. I haven't done that yet. So anyway, so moving on. So now going back to the Essential Comics guys. Now this is like their team book, Benchmark 5. This is book number 2. I picked up book number 1 from them last time when I seen them, so I got this from them, and they gave me like a little card in the back. And I also picked this up. I didn't know this is like a new character, I think, from them, as far as I know. But Victory Girl, #1, and of course he signed this as well. But then on this side was like a preview edition for Victory Girl. Victory Girl, and signed that. So really awesome, man. Really, really awesome. Now, Rekka Comics, which is Rekka, which is hacker backwards. They were there. I went to their booth twice, and nobody was there. But they had these spread out over the table. Guide to Keeping Cyber Safe. And this is kind of like, this is a book they have out now, which I actually have the first issue. I don't know. It's just like a little, I don't know what it is. But it was free. I grabbed it off the table. And this is another Zenoscope book that they were given for free. So Zenoscope is always good. Got to support Philly. Now, Phenomenon, Von Coleman. You know, I'm trying to. I try to do my best to support indies, man, indie creators. So this was really cool looking. So I picked this up, Volume 1. Now, David Byrne, like I said, I had a conversation with him, and I ended up getting a bunch of stuff from him because he did Canceled and other things as well. So I picked up Dusk County is Canceled, and he signed it, of course. So I picked that up from him, as well as Canceled #1. He signed this. And this one from Black Caravan Premiere, Canceled. That's a really, man, that cover's pretty sick. And he signed it, of course. And now some collected edition stuff. So let me switch this around a little bit because it'll make more sense, I guess. Hospice, Volume 1. Now this is like an anthology type thing where, and then he did sign it right there on the inside. So this is like a bunch of different stories in here, different artists, different things like that. And I could have gotten Eranga to sign this. I didn't think of it, but yeah. And I also got Stake, Volume 1, that from David Byrne, and he also signed this on the inside. And also Stake, Jessamy. Yeah, it's like a spin-off. And he signed this on the inside as well. So pick those up from David Byrne. Now from Zenoscope, I love those guys, man. Like I said, got to support Philly. So Monster Planet, pick that up. And Grim Fairy Tales presents Sleepy Hollow. Both of those trades. And Mike Byrne, I'm a fan of Mike Byrne, and he had this there, Bronze Star. I wanted to really pick up the big hardcover with the black and white artwork, but I didn't. I passed on it because of the price was $100, which I think would have been worth it for what it was. I was my budget, man. So I picked this up. And the trade, which he did sign on the inside. Yeah, he did sign on the inside, and also gave me this as well with it. Piece of artwork, and he signed it. As well as on the inside of the book, right there on the top. Yep. Yeah, man. So good stuff right there. And I also told him I backed the Kickstarter, the Nexus Omnibus Kickstarter. So he was happy about that. Really cool guy. He's definitely his own guy. So anyway, Project Analysis. I believe that's how he pronounced it. But this looks pretty cool. This is Volume 1. He signed it on the inside. Paul Thayer. And here's the little flyer. So go check him out. There's Yeah, definitely go check him out. So he signed it on the inside, right, right there. Some really cool like sci-fi type thing going on right here. So yeah, project analysis. Now these next couple of books, I feel like I was being bombarded, if I'm being honest. From Comicsburg, these guys were from Pittsburgh. I was in the process of buying, or talking to the guy and paying for this one, which the guy was really cool. And like I said, this is the book that came with those cards. So yeah, so I bought this book and it came with this. I didn't even realize it was going to come with this, but that was pretty cool. And he signed it as well on the inside. So Comicsburg, that's the back of it. But the edge. So yeah, like I said, I felt like I was being bombarded because I was in the process of, paying for this, talking to the guy and everything. And while I'm in the middle of the transaction and talking to the guy, the other guy's jumping on me. And then there was another guy at the booth that was kind of bombarding me too, trying to sell me on his stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, man. Wait, hold it. Calm down, man. I want to support you guys, but y'all are coming at me the wrong way. So that was the only thing that was like, but like I said, I felt like I was being pressured into buying something. I bought this from the one guy. So I bought that. And I didn't buy anything from the third guy because I was, anyway, I want to support you guys, man, but don't bombard me. Don't hassle me, man. That's not a cool thing. So anyway, what was pretty cool was a Kickstarter that I backed. Now this next guy, really cool guy. I love the stuff that he does. Warline Compman, Compan, Kompan, Compan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, so he just came out with, I don't know if he just came out with these, but Warline #1. This looks awesome, man. I just think it looks really cool. The artwork on the inside. So Henri Compan, go check him out. So he was there. So I got issues 1. Then I also got issue 2, as well as issue 3. And of course, he signed all 3 of those as well. So in addition to those, I got from him Marks, A Tale of Survival, based on true events. Now, this is not Karl Marx, that crazy nut job, Karl Marx. He made sure that was perfectly clear. That's not what this is. But yeah, A Tale of Survival, about his about Henri's grandfather, about what he went through like around World War II era. And each chapter, of course, I haven't read this yet, but each chapter kind of starts with like an actual picture, which I'm assuming is family that this story's about. Let me try to find another one. Yeah, this is the beginning of like chapter 2, like a family picture, I guess. So yeah, this is really interesting, really interesting. So that's going to be a fun read. Now I have volume 1 of this. I've had volume 1 of this for a while, but Yisun Shin, or Shin, Yisu Shin, Fallen Avenger. This is volume 2, the hardcover. So I have volume 1 and volume 2 now, which is pretty awesome. Now this is, the artwork in here, man, is really cool. Yeah, you hear that crack into the spine, man? It's fresh. Yeah. So this is cool. So now I have both volumes of those, man. So really excited about that. So now the time has come. We are here to take a look at the sketchbook. The sketchbook, the things that I've got done here. I got like 5 things done, I think it is. But man, I'm so happy about everything that's in here. Now, the first thing I got done was from Bob McLeod. He is the inaugural artist of this Superman. I felt like having him do Superman was very appropriate because that's one of his bigger things he's known for, I guess. I mean, he's known for a lot of things, don't get me wrong, but to me, he's a Superman guy. So that was pretty awesome. And then Eranga, I wanted him to draw Deadpool for me, and he did. Dude, I love it. And he colored it too. So that is pretty awesome. Like a watercolor kind of deal, I think. But yeah, looks good, man. I like that. Like it a lot. And then Vince Sonico, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But he did this as well as he did a lot of drawing for me, the two covers and then this. But yeah, Deadpool as well. He loves drawing Deadpool like in that half mask thing, man. It's pretty cool. A lot of detail he put into this too, man. Really sick. So yeah. And then oh yeah, going back to Monster Forge. I told him my favorite characters, and he drew that. Love it. Absolutely love it. Wolfman and Dracula. It looks like Frankenstein. And then Dan Panosian. I was up at his booth, caught him like towards the end of the day on Sunday. The last day, I kind of caught him towards the end of the day, thankfully. And I was like, he asked me, he was like, so what you want? What do you want me to draw? I said, well, who do you like to draw the most? Or one of your favorite characters, whatever. Again, I like to give them the choice. I like to have them choose because to me that makes it more special. Like I didn't choose it, they chose it. They wanted to do this. So he chose Wolverine, Logan. And it looks pretty awesome. Now I have a little bit of video of him actually drawing. And it's really cool, man. It's really cool to see the process of where an artist starts with the art and then to really see where it ends up. Because to me, not being an artist, I don't know what I don't know what I'm looking at initially, right? So I didn't know what character he was drawing initially. So I'm like, who is this? Like, who's he drawing like in my mind? And just, keep watching him and seeing things come together. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see what you're doing here. So yeah, man, I'm really, really happy about this. This is really cool. I like this a lot. So there's my sketchbook, man. My newfound joy for bringing to cons. So yeah, man, good times. So there you have it, man. I hope you guys stuck with me. I know it was a little bit of a long video, but I definitely hope you enjoyed. Let me know, man. What do you guys like to do at a con? Like, what is your thing when you go to a con? Is it signatures? Is it sketches? Do you look for deals? Do you hunt for certain books? Like, what is your main focus? Because like I said, I switched my main focus up from mostly getting signatures to backing up off of that a little bit to kind of focus on, sketches and just being able to give myself time to just roam around and enjoy things. That's what I did this year, and it was awesome. Loved it, and I think I'm going to keep that same approach going forward. So with that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And HeroesCon 2025, it's a wrap. See you guys in the next one.